Well, good evening. It's Altitude After Dark with your boy DMac. Waiting for Mike Sanford to join us. He'll be here with a second. Got a couple things going on tonight. And we're going to get into the Broncos and why Mike Sanford and myself have the Broncos as winners this weekend. But we've got our eyes on a couple of things right now. The Avalanche trail the Winnipeg Jets 1-0. And meanwhile, we're into the second half with the Ravens and the Bengals. Low-scoring affair, but really, really good competitive game. So we're here for your comments, your questions, whatever you want to give us. Mike Sanford's in a unique situation, so we'll see. Yeah, it's 18 minutes ago. Winnipeg's up 1-0, and they are in the third quarter. Bengals up on the Ravens 14-7. So like a lot going on tonight. Again, Mike Sanford is at the airport. His dad is finishing up his 49th year of coaching, which is remarkable. So Mike is going to be there, and he is traveling tonight. So he and the family, his wife, 3 kids, are at the airport. He's going to try to get to us as if possible from the airport. If not, I certainly understand. And I'm just sending him a quick note now. But we're so glad that you're here. So this is a good night perhaps to get some questions or comments in, and we'll answer everything we possibly can as we keep an eye on the Avs. We keep an eye on the football game. And sent an invite. Okay. So let's go to it, right? Okay. We'd be nothing if we didn't have our sponsors, and we have such a special sponsor, and that's our guy. Your 401k is likely one of your most important financial plans, but it's only part of a comprehensive financial strategy. Edward Jones can help you understand how your retirement assets fit into your entire retirement picture so you can work toward meeting your unique retirement goals. Contact Beau Smith, your Colorado Edward Jones financial advisor, at 303-758-8500 or visit edwardjones.com/Beau-Smith. That's BEAU-Smith. Edward Jones, member SIPC. It's funny to see your face when it didn't look all messed up, but that's where it was. Thank you, of course, to Beau Smith. The Ravens are trailing, and seeing the Broncos struggle against the Ravens and now seeing the Bengals doing well against the Ravens is humbling, to say the least, as the Broncos will have to face the Ravens, or the Bengals rather, in the second to last game of the season. Okay, so what does that all mean? It means that nobody thinks the Broncos can beat the Chiefs. I mean, literally nobody, except for me. Mike Sanford is going through security. He should be at the gate in 15 minutes. Okay. We'll see him then. So what is so special about the Chiefs theory? Well, certainly not the offense. The offense is middling, although they're number one on third down. And of course, that's a crazy important stat to be number one on. Okay, fine. But they're in the middle of the road on almost everything else. What's going better for the Chiefs is actually the Chiefs defense, Sean Payton.
And, man, they play real good technique. They're smart. They're near the top of the league in giving up explosives. And so sometimes when you are trying to apply pressure, you might get hit for the big play, but these guys are extremely well coached, and they're a challenge.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. But the Broncos are healthy. That's important to know. As healthy as they've ever been. And it was a tricky week that they had to deal Baron Brown.
Well, in fairness to Baron, even, we had a long talk, and just a contract year, the amount of snaps, he can get more snaps. It's the puzzle of trying to look outwards too. And certainly he's been a part of what we've been doing, and so it's never easy to trade someone. And yet, I thought just in our visit, George and I and Barron sitting down, he totally understood, and and he was looking forward to getting more snaps. Certainly in a year for him that's important.
And we just saw Jamar Chase, an explosive play from Joe Burrow, take it to the house. That is what the Broncos are sorely lacking. Can you make a small play and turn it into something big? Broncos' answer to that has been no, but Jamar Chase is something special. Ain't no doubt about it. They're up 21-7. That is just a crossing route over the middle at the 50-yard line, and he makes people miss and takes it to the house. That just happened. Whew. We can't get Troy Franklin or Marvin Mims to catch a ball, which is brutal. But again, you get tests. You get tests that, what are you? And against the Ravens, you couldn't make the mistakes that you made. So what is the Chiefs?
You get these, it's a long season, and so you get these tests periodically, and that's why the procurement of your players and your staff, the ingredients, it starts with that. And it's not when they're successful that's easy. It's when all of a sudden you come off a tough loss and then, hey, you're going back on the road again to play, the Chiefs. So, but yeah, I like how they've responded. I think it's certainly an entirely different team from a year ago.
And no doubt about it. No doubt about it. There's confidence. There wasn't Sean Payton freaking out. He wasn't death gripping the wheel, doing donuts at a sushi restaurant parking lot, wondering, why can't I be happy? Listen, man, there were mistakes that were made that are easily correctable, okay? And I get it. For the second week in a row, the Broncos are the biggest underdog in the NFL. Nobody sees this coming because it's the Chiefs, right, Beau?
They don't just keep it games; they win games. And one, I think, valuable thing about them is they're not talked about being in one-score games and all this kind of stuff. They're known for winning those one-score games, and so that's what makes a championship team. That's why they've won, is because they win the close ones. And in the NFL, you play close ones every week. So, we're close, and we got to make it, a close game, and we got to go out there and find a way to win it. And it's just going to come down to all three phases of the game, both sides of the ball, just stopping them when it's critical, and then we got to score when we have a chance.
No doubt about it. Cliche answer, but it's true. And it's okay to punt in this game. Not against the Ravens. Not against the Ravens. It was not okay to punt against the Ravens. And I do understand why Sean Payton was going for it more on fourth down. You had to take those chances. What's ironic is you don't against the Chiefs. The Chiefs are -4 in giveaway takeaway, which is a remarkable number for a team that's undefeated. -4? That's crazy. It's one of the worst marks in the league. -4, you should be a 3-win team at best, but they're undefeated. The NFL, Brian McCarthy, NFL spokesperson, put out a stat today. The NFL has had more close games, 7 points and 6 points or less for final scores, ever in NFL history. Parity is real, and slight mistakes make a difference. The Chiefs are not a regular season juggernaut. Getting them in the playoffs, that's a different story. Broncos have not won in Kansas City since September 17th, 2015. Can you believe that? Listen, man, karma is something. And being underestimated is something. And having a measuring stick game, not the Ravens. The Ravens was not a measuring stick game. I think the Broncos lived up to failed expectations to the nth degree against the Ravens. That's not what that game was all about. That game was a setup to prepare you for the game that really matters. And division games matter more than everything. And you have to win some unexpected wins. You got to nail a couple of things. In order to make the playoffs, you need expected wins, games you're basically favored in. And then you need to pull off a couple of unexpected wins. They already have 2. Unexpected win against the Jets in New York. That's an unexpected win, as is an unexpected win against Tampa. That's another unexpected win. How many unexpected wins do you need in a season? Against a division rival on the road. would be great. Now, they have the Raiders on the road, but that is an expected win. The Falcons at home is probably a coin flip. It's probably middle of the road, not expected or unexpected. But home against the Browns and home against the Colts, 2 expected wins. These games just simply matter more. Expected wins always matter more, especially within the division. But how many of those unexpected wins can you pile up? Playing the Chiefs on a Chiefs short week where even though he's practiced and is not on the injury report, we know Patrick Mahomes is not 100%. In a year in a league where games in general are one-score games, and the Chiefs have won 6 games by 7 points or less, 6 out of their 8 games. They're fugazi. They ain't real. This isn't a real good team. This is a championship-level team that knows how to win in the end. They're first in the league on third downs. That's a big deal. They're deadly if it's a one-score game and they have the ball at the end of the half, end of game, or overtime. Can't let that happen. So you've got to be good, but you don't have to be perfect, and you don't have to press. You can punt the ball. Just don't give it to the Chiefs in some sort of clock is winding down situation, because the clutch GOAT gene of Patrick Mahomes is just too good. The difference and the similarities between Lamar Jackson, 2-time MVP, and Patrick Mahomes, Patrick Surtain explains.
I don't know. It's kind of hard to really get a tell because obviously they both great quarterbacks, very dynamic. I'd probably say Lamar's more of a run threat, obviously, but I think they both could cause, a lot of complications with a run game, of course, being on their feet. But I think they have a lot of similarities in the pass game as well, too. So it's really hard to get a difference between them two because obviously they're both elite in their own right. So.
Snowy day out there at Dove Valley. I'm practicing a little bit inside and a little bit outside, for whatever it's worth, getting ready for what should be a sloppy game on Saturday. There's rain in the forecast, not the snow that we're expecting, but rain, and there's a college football game on Saturday at Gaba Goo Stadium in Kansas City. I don't know. Who knows? Who cares? It's a tough place to play, and the conditions are going to be sloppy. It sets up for a low-scoring battle, and you're going to get a toughness test. So turning the ball over could be deadly. Here is offensive coordinator Joe Lombardi on what the Broncos can't do.
It's something that we emphasize, and it's easier. You get their attention when they've had a couple fumbles, and so he's working hard on it. Obviously, if it's something that continues, it's going to be a bigger problem. But he's aware of it, and he'll be detailing his ball security. So I think we'll be all right there.
Meanwhile, Lombardi is well aware of a vastly improved Chiefs defense.
Yeah, I think they were always a team that thrived on knocking you off schedule, and so there was just a ton of blitzes, and they're always trying to get that negative play and put you behind the chains, and I think just their run defense. I'm not sure they're less aggressive with the blitzes, but I don't think they rely on it as much because they're just playing more sound on those early downs. Sound's probably the wrong word, but they're just more successful on those early downs where, before you're like, all right, we can get those 5-6 yard gains and we got to avoid the negative play. And it's a lot harder to get those right now. And, they're playing the run real well and, pressuring the quarterback and they still have enough pressure stuff that it puts a lot of stress on you.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It's a good defense, a really good defense. But at the end of the day, we know what it's all about against the Chiefs. And while the stars aren't quite there, they did bring on Hopkins. Oh boy. And Travis Kelce is still there. And I think the roadie for a Leonard Skinner cover band is their running back. They figure it out because of Patrick Mahomes. Vance Joseph on the evolution.
I think as their team has evolved, he's evolved, right? I mean, he is doing less, and they're winning more. You know, it's the NFL. You know, once you pay your quarterback, it's tough to keep a lot of great players around him. They've drafted well on defense. They've drafted well on offense. So it's the new NFL. You know, once you pay that guy, I mean, he has to make you better, obviously, in a lot of spots. But you know, he has to obviously, you know, play winning football. That's what he's doing. I mean, it's kind of special to watch, right? He's doing a lot less, but they're winning more. You know, for a quarterback, man, that's hard to convince them to do that, first of all. But he's doing it. You know, it's a lot of close games. But when you watch the games, he can boat race you, you know, when he has to. But he's being good with the football, not giving the football away. But it's a team philosophy, and it's working for him.
Okay, sure is. Broncos did get good news this week. Tough news, but good news. Baron Browning moves on in a trade to the the Cardinals in Arizona, and a big deal for Jonathan Cooper. Don't forget, too, the Broncos did sign Patrick Surtain this year as well. They're reinforcing their key elements of their defense.
So, you know, watching Pat resign and Coop resign, so that's the way you do it, right? When you draft these kids, you kind of know who they are, and as you coach them up, it's a fine line between the football and the person stuff, you know. So as time goes along, both kind of makes sense for us. So he's the right person and the right player for us. So that's very simple.
Love it. Congratulations, Jonathan Cooper, and best of luck to Baron Browning. Great guy. I'm sure it'll work out. But this no-name defense, they're getting identity pretty quick, over and over and over again. And it's nice to know one of those guys will be Jonathan Cooper. Easy guy to root for. Heart issues coming out of Ohio State, but has played great. 7th round draft pick to get a big contract. Way to go. Happy day for him and his family.
Yeah, it wasn't too long, honestly. It was about maybe 3 weeks at most. And yeah, the process was pretty quick and easy and simple. I have really, really good agents. And, you know, the people across the team, they like them. And they're just – the process went really smooth. And I feel like I didn't need to take it any further than what it was, because I love this program. I love this team. I love the organization. And, yeah, I just felt like I didn't need to go any further, and signing it there in the hotel, it just all worked out as well as it could. And then I'm still pissed off about the game. So
appreciate Coops talking Canadian to us with the word organization. I'm keeping tabs on the Avalanche and the Jets too. Avalanche are still down 1-0. We'll see how that goes. We're also got eyes 21-7, Bengals leading the Ravens. Oof. That feels icky considering the Broncos had the Bengals in the second to last game of the season. And they just got destroyed by the Ravens. We'll see how that game goes as well. Meanwhile, let's talk about special teams just for a second. It's always great to talk to Ben Kotwika, talking about them kickoffs.
Yeah, I think it's a positive step. I think that the numbers are up. Again, I think we've talked about this a little bit before, but it's not exponentially. The numbers have increased. The rate's a little bit higher now than it was at this point last year, which is what we wanted. Again, from what we've been told, the injury data, especially the concussions and the long run high-speed collisions, are down. And we're getting returns. So I think it's been a positive. It'll be interesting to see in the offseason what tweaks are made to it, which I think there'll be some adjustments, but that'll be determined. But so far, and I think that return rate is going to increase, especially with the weather turning a little bit colder, a little bit more wind. I think that'll be a little bit higher. So that's where I think we're at.
Because have been exceptional on special teams. It's been a really good, solid year. It's just that you don't want to have Marvin Mims be a specialist. He's supposed to do a little bit more for you. And in this particular game, you kind of never know. But conservatism will likely be the bellwether moment for this particular game. And leaving the ball in Patrick Mahomes' hands is not a good idea. It's just not. So we're left with a game that's obviously challenging. We're left with a 4-game stretch after this game Atlanta at home, Raiders on the road, Browns, Colts, in that order at home. 3 games out of 4 at home, and your road games in Vegas. It's good. It's real good. And it can work out the best for the Broncos. You know what would be better? A win against the Chiefs. And that's why I'm predicting it. I got the Broncos winning this game. Something quirky, like 18-15. I don't know how that's going to turn out, but something a little wacky. Something that is low and shocks the world. It's time for the Chiefs' karma that's been so positive to run out. Don't forget, they're coming off a short week. Mahomes has something going on with his ankle, and they got the Bills in Buffalo next week. They don't just lose this one. They lose that Bills game as well. Karma comes around. Now, I'm not saying they're not going to win the Super Bowl. Who knows? I mean, we have the Ravens struggling against the Bengals right now. They're down 21-7 with 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. I'm not sure how it's going to all wind up. But a middle-of-the-season game last year, in Denver, granted, that Mahomes wasn't feeling great, resulted in a relatively easy win for the Broncos. I smell that coming up again, like I can smell barbecue sauce off a pit in that gross city of Kansas City. Take your choice, Kansas or Missouri. Who the hell would want to live there? So while we unbridle ourselves of suburban snow, we can look forward to sloppy conditions, but a Broncos win. You heard it here first. And I'm telling you, Mike Sanford would concur with me. He's getting through security at the airport. I'm not sure we're going to have time to check in with him. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But I'm saying it's a Broncos win. Can you hear me? It's a Broncos win. A Broncos win. We'll get to your comments here in a second. Do you see yourself traveling, working part-time, or moving somewhere warmer when you retire? Beau Smith, your Colorado Edward Jones financial advisor, can make your retirement goals a reality. He can help you figure out where you are today and how to get where you expect to be. Working together, you can plan for what you want and be ready to take on anything unexpected along the way. Call him at 303-758-8500 or visit edwardjones.com/Beau-Smith to get started today. That number again, 303-758-8500. Edward Jones, member SIPC. Let's get to your comments tonight. I haven't even looked at the comments section yet, so we'll go from there and see what you say. What's up, DMac? I believe the Broncos will win this weekend. LFG FUKC. Thank you. Mystic. Beau is a rookie. Every game is a different challenge. We are very hit or miss. If Russ could beat him, so can Beau. Love the optimism. You heal up fast, DMac. Good shit, brother. I appreciate it. I got the black eye. I got a little something here. I don't know. Doing the best I can. Glad to see it. Thank you, brother. What up to you, my man? Holy sheep, Burrow to Chase. That's a dynamic play. I'm waiting for Marvin Mims or Troy Franklin to do the same. Was that last Denver KC road win when the J. Charles fumble game? God, it was September 17th. I'm just watching. Oh my God, I think Coach is with us. This is crazy. Coach, we only got a couple minutes here, but what do you got, brother? Where are you?
I'm at DIA right now. I'm flying to Vegas with the family, go support my dad in his final season of coaching high school football. This is his 49th season, DMac. 49.
Awesome.
So we're on our way.
What a weird number to wrap it up, though. You can't stick it out for you can't get that 5-0, really?
He's got this one problem, and it's my mom, aka his wife, and I think she's ready. So this is round one of the playoffs, and then I think they're going to end up having a chance to win the state championship. So I might have a solo return to a state championship game in 3-4 weeks. But I knew this was the last time to lug around 5 human beings and have, my kids have a chance to see their grandfather coach in his last year.
You got through security. You found some sort of quiet place in the airport. You're flying to Vegas tonight. Is that right?
Yeah, going to Vegas, man.
All
Yeah,
right,
my
Viva Las Vegas.
hey, have you seen these, by the way? Look at these. I got this last night at the.
Brother, I've seen a lot of those. Are you kidding me? I see that all the time, my man. You know where I hang out. You know where
Oh
I'm
yeah,
at.
that was my first time in the suite area, man. I got fancy water bottles with nuggets
Wait,
and
you were
abs
in the
on there.
suite last night?
So I ended up going down on. I was courtside yesterday.
Whoa. How did I
Yeah.
miss you then?
Well, I mean, I was hanging out with like Kyle Speller and more in those type of. So you probably wouldn't have been able to get down there, with that crew.
Mike Sanford. I can get anywhere in Ball Arena, my man. I can get anywhere. But that's okay. That's all right. Ignore your boy. That's all
No,
right.
it was a little wife time, so it was good.
I appreciate it. Okay. And we'll just keep you for a couple minutes here. But why? And I've gone through 25 minutes of why I think they will win. I give you the floor, brother. Go ahead. Lay it out.
There's a couple things here. I mean, I think the first thing is that under this regime, the Broncos have tasted this victory. And that's one of the things I keep going back to is that you beat the witch, man. You've beat Patrick Mahomes. He was, he apparently had the flu or whatever. Well, guess what? He's coming off of a ankle/knee type situation. Number two is I like the Broncos defense playing against a traditional passer of the football as opposed to an elite athlete. I think that played into maybe the change of game plan from Vance Joseph was the threat of the run game from Lamar Jackson. I think that you're going to have a Broncos defense that's going to pin their ever living ears back, show off their new $60 million pass rusher, in Jonathan Cooper. I think Nick Bonito, Jonah Ellis. I just think they're going to apply a whole heck of a lot of pass rush in this game. And then I think Bo Nix is going to run the rock, man. I have images of him scoring 2 rushing touchdowns in the red zone. I don't know what it is, man. I think it's time for Sean to unlock that ability in this type of a moment. And these are the types of games that you hold that for, DMac, as a coach. And I've done that. Like there's certain games you're like, I don't really want to feature the quarterback designed run game, but I think this might be the week to do it.
Love it. All right, man. It's me. It's you. It's a reluctant Caner.
Yeah, he's a toe dipper though. I've learned that about Caner. He's not a full commitment guy. He enjoys feeling he wants to know what the temperature of the water is. So he takes his shoe off, takes his sock off. But at the end of the day, is he willing to dive in? No. Are you?
Yeah, we're in.
I'm in, man.
We're in with our bathing suits off. We're skinny dipping in the optimism pool.
And you know what? I'm even wearing my Broncos Christmas sweater right now. So yeah, going into Raiders territory.
All right, that's fantastic. I got him winning. You got him winning, and we both like the next 4 games: Atlanta home, Raiders on the road. That'd be fun to go back for. Browns and Colts at home. We like that, right? We really like that.
I really like Sunday. I'm a little apprehensive about the Falcons. They're playing good football. It's not an unwinnable game. And then I love the slate after it. And so my strange path to the playoffs for the Broncos consists of a win against Kansas City, a loss against the Falcons, and then a nice run of victories, and then actually a win against the Chiefs to end the season off. I don't think Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, they're going to have home field advantage completely hemmed up by the time they play that game.
21-14 Bengals over the Ravens. What do you want to beat? Lamar comes back and figures out a way to win this one too. I just think I don't care what the record is. To say, oh, well, they've got a better record, to me is irrelevant. I believe what I see and I know the Ravens are a better team than the Chiefs. I just know that, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubting that. Joe Burrow's special, man. He is.
Joe Burrow is special. He is special.
He's a bona fide top 4 quarterback in the National Football League.
Ain't no doubt about it. If you want to look at the elite of the elite, it's the Bengals, Bills, and Ravens, okay? We got it. We get it, and it may not be time right now. That's why I like the Broncos in 2026. I like the Broncos to be the new Lions in 2026. And the Lions' time may be now, but that's a lot of pressure. Mike, they've never even been to a Super Bowl. So we'll see. But you got them winning. I got them winning. You got a Broncos sweater on. You got 5 people going to Vegas for your dad. Life is all right, man. Life is all right.
I'll still be on the radio tomorrow. I'm gonna do a little remote broadcast from my hotel room. I see Mosier and Lombardi never in the studio. I'm like, I might as well try the same thing, man.
Lombardi doesn't commute in from Golden. Yeah, I mean, do what you need to do, bro. No hate on that. No hate on that. I'll let you go. We love you. Safe travels with your family. We'll listen to you tomorrow morning. Thank you, Coach.
Hey, appreciate you, DMac.
All right, my man, Mike Sanford at the airport. There you go. Hope that you've enjoyed this episode. Back on from noon to 3. Mike is on with the morning sprint with Good Raj at 10 a.m., and we go from there. We'll be back with Altitude After Dark at 8 p.m. Sunday to recap everything. We appreciate you watching. Thank our guy, Beau Smith. Let's go Broncos. Get that win and beat the Chiefs.